Hi there, this is Timothy West, and this is just a short video on how to advertise using Facebook. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to go to facebook.com/advertising and just click on create an ad. Now when you click on create an ad, a management screen is going to pop up, and what we're going to do here is it will pick up like number of business pages that I look after, and we'll just pick one here. We'll take Namaste Yoga for example. And the first question it's going to ask is choose a Facebook destination or enter a URL. So for example, you might just click on what's here now, or you might, so what you're trying to do here is, am I going to, well, let me be really clear. You can have people go to a particular website. So for example, you could go to your own personal web page or a sub page within your website, or you could actually go to the actual Facebook page itself. Or you could, now the next step is going to be, what do you want to promote? Now you could be promoting a specific post on your website, or you could be posting just about Namaste Yoga in this instant. So let's just click on Namaste Yoga just for argument's sake. People will see a new ad about Namaste Yoga, stories, or etc. So in this particular instance, we're going to say a new ad. And just following through the process, the headline, Namaste Yoga, you can't change that now, it's grayed out, and that's because we're actually, that's the focus. The text, obviously, I've done this before, so this is the default text that I had in the last time. So in this instance, I use free weekly yoga videos for real yoga for real people. Again, you can choose that whichever way you want to do. Uploading an image, really simple. Just make sure it's 100 pixels by 72 pixels high. Again, Photoshop or whatever photo editing software you're utilizing for that is straightforward. You can even choose from an image library, so you can upload a video. The landing view, so you can have that. The landing view, I mean, you can always click on these questions, but choose a particular, what do they say here? Choose a particular view or app on your page where people will land when they click on your ad. So to put that in perspective, you could have it come right back onto your timeline, or you could have it come to, for example, in this instance, I've got a page called Map, I've got a page called Photos, and I got a page called YouTube, and I've also got a page called Free Yoga Videos. Now, because that's what this is all about, that's where I direct the traffic to. So I'm going to collect on that. The next is the location of where you're located, or where you would like the audience to be coming from. So you can choose your audience. You can go right down to the city. So for example, I could type in, I live in Ajax, so I could type in Ajax if I'd like to, and that would narrow down that particular city. I could type in, because of where we just live on the outside of Toronto, so I might add in other towns or local towns to include cities within 10 miles, etc., or 25 miles, or even 50 miles. I could narrow it down by age. Again, the next step here. So if I felt that I wanted people between the ages of say 25 and 35, and I wanted just women, then of course you can actually narrow that down to whatever you prefer. The next interest, precise interest. Now, for example, in this interest, because it's about yoga, I could type in yoga, and that might be, and I could add that. Now, what you'll notice when you're doing this, when you're taking this audience and you're narrowing things down, you're going to notice that, for example, if I get rid of that word yoga, over here on the right, the audience decreases as we go along. So you start off with, for example, everybody in Canada, and who is between the ages of 25 and 35 that are on Facebook, and you're at 4 million people. When I drop that down to just Ajax, Ontario, I drop down to 8,500 people who are on Facebook that could be interested. And then when I narrow it down even further and precise the interest, like for example, like yoga in this particular instance, I've dropped down to 240 people. So we're starting to get really, really, really small. I highly recommend you don't drop below 1,000. I've tried a couple of a couple of ads where we're targeting just a very, very small number of people, and it just doesn't seem to have a good response. So what I would highly recommend is try and get that audience to be a little bit larger than that. It gives you a little bit more of a chance. There could be suggested likes and interests, and then they'll add that. So for example, if I wanted to advertise to those people who perhaps they like Yoga Journal, perhaps they like one of the other things, I could get into broader categories. So for example, it could be in other interests, and you can click on interests and you can go through and see if there are other interests that might be health and well-being for argument's sake. And these are, so again, we're narrowing that audience down. Another really interesting thing with Facebook advertising is that you could actually leave this all blank and just come down to the connections tab here and say only people who are connected to Namaste Yoga. So you might actually have an ad that goes out to just those individuals. So you'd have, get rid of all these other precise interests, but you would have only those people. So you're advertising to only people who actually are already liking Namaste Yoga. Or you could say only people not connected to Namaste Yoga. And you can even get into some advanced connection targeting where you're actually targeting people who are connected to Namaste Yoga, or for example, who are friends are connected to Namaste Yoga. So you might have a different ad. So let's say, for example, you're advertising for or marketing an idea or a DVD, for example, on yoga. And let's say that people in Namaste Yoga already knew about this DVD. You could actually advertise or target friends of those people who are already liking Namaste Yoga. And what's interesting about that is that in the ad itself, it will say something like their friend's name already likes this page, and this website is actually, or this particular Facebook page is actually promoting this video that your friend likes. And that in and itself is really interesting because it gives you some social credibility and some social leverage, if you like. It's kind of like a warm sale, if you like, or a warm connection. And you're more likely to get people buying it because, well, you know what, my friend already trusts you, so therefore I will trust you as well. The objective, show this to people who are most likely to click on my ad or sponsor story or like my page. There are individuals out there that just will not click like, or there are people who will not click on the ads and they just never clicked on ads. So you might just click on that and just say click on my ad or sponsor story or like my page. So you're not wasting time with people who just will never click on anything. Which is kind of handy. The next part is the campaign pricing and the schedule, the budget. Name it, the campaign, whatever you'd like to name it, and then the campaign budget. It could be $10 a day, it could be $5 a day, it could be $100 a day. I would highly recommend this next one here, the campaign schedule. Run my campaigns continuously starting today. Make sure you uncheck that. As soon as you do, then you get a start date and an end date. I'm a big fan of budgeting my marketing and advertising, and when resources and finances are a little bit tighter in particular, you don't want to be finding out that you've just blown through hundreds and hundreds of dollars because you forgot to turn the ad off. I would suggest to you that what you'd want to do is perhaps run 2 or 3 ads at the same time. And you'd want to measure those ads. So maybe run it for a day or 2, maybe as long as a week, and give yourself a really good, strong idea of which ads are working. Measure the ads and only utilize the ads moving forwards after that, the ones that are actually working. And then, of course, retest. Keep on testing. Same thing applies over and over again. You test the ads, those ads that work, great, stick with them, but then bring on a second ad and keep testing that to see which one's going to work best. At the end of all that, you just click on place the order, or you can review the ad before you do that. Make sure you see what it looks like. Facebook will now create the ad and show you what the ad would look like. This is what it would look like. I'm not quite obviously finished like this, but this is what it would look like. There's the ad name, of course, title it, and then once you hit place order, then you're off to the races. Just make sure that everything, all the audience target users have been outlined and are correct. And that's it. I hope that helps. That's Facebook ads in a nutshell. Pretty straightforward stuff. What I would recommend is get into it, get started with it, make sure it's working. If it's not working, don't do it. But test it, test it, test it. Have a great day. Cheers. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate. Send me an email, info@timothywest.com.